Meeting call to order. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Welcome to Taj Toastmasters Club, Area 6, Division B, District 79, meeting number 976. We welcome you all today for today's panel discussion on financial freedom, retire early and enjoy life. I am Mohammed Mateen, your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Before we begin, let me read out the mission of the Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Please repeat the oath after me. For better listening.
For better listening.
For better thinking.
For better
thinking.
And better speaking.
And better speaking.
We learn by doing.
We learn by doing.
Since we are in a hybrid meeting, we are in an online meeting, members other than the role players, meeting leaders and speakers are advised to mute their microphones during the meeting. However, I request you all to keep your videos on during the course of the meeting. You are urged to applaud using emojis and through your videos. As a general rule, Toastmasters encourages all speakers and role players to speak on any topic except politics, religion, and sex. I request all our guests to put your mobile phones, guests and members to put all your mobile phones on silent mode, and in case of any emergency call, you may take the call without disturbing the speakers. I hope you all will enjoy today's panel discussion and will plan to retire early. To conduct this session, we have an eminent Toastmaster. He is the moderator for tonight's meeting.
A point of information.
Yes.
Toastmaster Mateen, you will hand over to the presiding officer and I will introduce him.
Okay, fine. So to conduct this session, I hand over the lectern to our presiding officer, who is none other than our president, Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. The stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Mohammed Mateen, for that brilliant start to the meeting. In fact, we have a great panel discussion right ahead of us, and we are all eagerly looking forward to that one. But before that, let me wish you all a warm and pleasant evening and a happy Ramadan that is going on and forth. I was just searching for something about financial freedom today, if there are any quotes that I could speak about. And the one thing that really caught my attention was, it's written in bold letters. It's not, I am unable to attribute it to anybody, but it says that I was not just born to earn, pay bills, and die. Do we all do that? How many of us do that? I believe most of us are chasing behind materials, jobs, and certain kind of desires that we all want. Make sure that we fulfill them, and at the end of it, we sign off from life. And that's what is the sad story. And how many of us are really enjoying it? Of course, we are all taking certain baby steps towards it. And the aim of conducting today's panel discussion is this is something that we are all looking forward to. How do we achieve this financial freedom, the so-called elusive financial freedom, early in life, so that we are able to retire and enjoy the best part of our lives? So that's the idea behind today's panel discussion. And we are going to have a lot of engaging discussion, not just by the moderator, but also by the panelists and also all of you audience present here through your Q&A session. So I will leave all that rest to the person who is going to conduct this event. But before that, there are a couple of things that we need to announce. Do we have any guests? That's the first thing that we always talk about. So we have Mr. Saravanan here with us. He is actually a guest who is joining us for the second meeting. Mr. Saravanan, for a few of our members who are not able to meet you when you joined us for the first time, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you for good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm the Saravanan. I'm the second meeting attend this meeting. So I'm very proud to hear, because I want to learn how to meeting going on. how to improve myself, how to improve my knowledge, how to improve my English learning. So that's why I'm here. So thank you for giving this opportunity to Taj Toastmasters. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Saravanan, for joining us. I hope you have been enjoying the meetings that you have been attending as a guest, and we are looking forward to see you as a member soon. I'm in touch with the person who introduced you, Toastmaster Jira Koshi, our Vice President Education. Feel free and enjoy today's session. Having said that, we don't have any more guests, but we have one major announcement to make, and that is Taj Toastmasters Club is officially a President's Distinguished Club with 10 distinguished club points in the DCP program. So this is one of the hallmark achievements that we have done, and we have achieved, only a handful of clubs have achieved it in the entire district, 79, and Taj is one among those clubs. And probably we were in track to set these 10 points first, but according to the rules, it happens only after the March 31st renewal cycle, and we were in time to renew it. And within Area 6, I think Taj is the only club that has achieved it. And in Division B, there are a couple more clubs. And in the entire district, there are just, as I told you, only a handful of clubs. A big round of applause to all the Tajians and all the ExCom members and the entire team that has been striving so hard to achieve this accolade. This is indeed a great feat. Okay, and this is one achievement that we make. And there is also a small announcement. Let me make it at the beginning itself. As you all know, that we have the magazine, the Taj magazine, that is being prepared, and the editor-in-chief for the Taj magazine is our very own Toastmaster Neetu Ratish. On behalf of her, I invite you all to submit all your articles, artworks, anything. It could be any creative idea. If you found something interesting that you read in a different book or something, you want to make an excerpt out of it, you can submit it as an article. Please support Toastmaster Neetu Ratish by giving your articles. And also, if you know SATAC magazine, the Saudi Arabian Toastmasters Annual Conference magazine, the editor-in-chief is again one more Tajian, our Toastmaster Sunil Idikulla. So he was also asking for articles. So kindly support Toastmaster Sunil Idikulla as well. With all your articles, artworks, creative ideas, anything that comes up can be submitted to them. As far as Taj magazine is concerned, I believe all the articles that will be submitted will be just checked for grammar and proofing, and it will be taken off. It will be accepted. But for the SATAC magazine, I don't know, he may have some criteria, but please go forward and support them both. And last but not the least announcement, we have the SATAC 2022 conference, that is the Saudi Arabian Toastmasters Annual Conference, which is going to happen on May 19, 20, and 21. Registrations are already open, and it is going to be an online virtual event. There is a whole lot of things that have been lined up. A group of Tajians are there taking up key positions. You might have already known there are people in the PR, there are people in the contest operations. There are several people who will be unsung heroes running from background. A lot of Tajians are going to contribute to that one. So make sure that every Taj member attends it, supports all the Tajians who are making sure the conference is success, and also the speech contests who are going to take part in the event. So the registrations are open. It's free. Please go ahead and register in time. So without further ado, let me just jump on directly to the event. So today we have a panel discussion, as I told you. And panel discussion is something that helps us brainstorm. Whenever we think of a topic, are we in agreement or in disagreement, we go for a debate. But when there is a topic that has several perspectives to look into, that is a time when we look for panel discussion, and a panelist will look into the different perspectives of that particular topic. So to conduct today's panel discussion, we have an eminent Toastmaster. He always impresses with his bold baritone voice and also his fluency in the English language. I've definitely been impressed in that particular aspect of his speech on the stage, both in the physical as well as the virtual stages. He has been working in Saudi Arabia for more than 20 years and has roots both in the two South Indian states of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And he is a projects manager by profession with a degree in science, majoring in physics from Loyola College, Chennai. And more recently, he has completed his NIBOSH certification from UK. And currently, he works for Aval Group in the second industrial city. And his forte is in the manufacturing field in diverse infrastructure, telecom, and plastic and steel fabrication. Personally, he's blessed with a beautiful family, one wife who is also a Toastmaster with us. She is an English teacher by profession, and two children. His son Joseph is doing his BTech in computer science, and daughter Rose is doing her grade 12 in India. Fellow Toastmasters, please put your hands together to welcome our moderator for today's panel discussion on financial freedom, retire early and enjoy life, Toastmaster Rajan Jose. Toastmaster Rajan, the virtual lectern is all yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sundar. The DTM Dr. Sundar, it's a pleasure to be here on the virtual platform with our fellow Toastmasters. I was just trying to be in the mood. I was trying to get the feel of what happens when I retire. I would look something like this, I suppose. So I would now give you a summary of our events. My question, do you have bank fixed deposits to fall upon during your retirement?
No.
Or maybe you have a pension plan all chalked out.
No.
Do you have a rental property generating income for you into your retirement? Or maybe you invested in a business share that continues to generate a steady income even after your active participation. Whatever your situation, our panel of experts are here to enlighten you and show you the way to financial freedom, early retirement, and how to enjoy life. May I introduce now our panelists. We have with us DTM Dr. Sundar Ramalingam to speak on the health aspect. He is an associate consultant oral surgeon at King Saud University Medical City. A proud Toastmaster since 2017, he is currently club president at Taj Toastmasters Club, VPPR at Garagana TMC, and club mentor of Mecca KSA Club. DTM Dr. Sundar strongly believes that investing in our health is in a holistic manner, both mind and body, is probably the best way to retire in comfort. As a healthcare practitioner, for the past 2 decades, he has seen all kinds of clinical scenarios, private, government, and institutional, both in India and KSA. He enjoys discussing healthcare issues with patients and friends alike and sees it as the greatest learning experience. May I welcome Dr. Sundar to the panel. Next up, we have Toastmaster Sunita Johnny to speak on the educational aspect. An English teacher by profession, she has 15 years experience in various teaching and administrative and leadership roles in education management at international schools in Riyadh. She has a degree in English language and literature, along with internationally recognized Cambridge teaching certifications, CELTA and Delta. One of her life choices is that of being a teacher who is also a lifelong learner. May we welcome Toastmaster Sunita Johnny onto the panel. Next up, we have Toastmaster Sunny Kurvilla to speak on the financial aspect. He is a chartered accountant by profession and has been working for more than 25 years. Currently, he is the financial controller at MEFC. Toastmaster Sunny has been planning for his retirement over the past 10 years. Earlier, he had plans to retire. Now, no more plans to retire. He believes that to enjoy life, retirement is not required. May we welcome Toastmaster Sunny into the panel, please. Next up, we have Toastmaster Philip to speak on the conventional aspect. He's a graduate with a Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science, currently in the IT industry in sales. He is working towards being financially stable before the age of 50 years and retire and spend time on traveling around the world. Being in the IT field, like most of the IT professionals, he spends the prime of his life updating his skills while working hard to meet deadlines. May we welcome Toastmaster Philip into the panel, please. Last but not the least, we have Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir to speak on the professional aspect. He is currently associated with Dunkin' Donuts as the operations training lead at Toastmasters since April 2021, passionate to become a professional speaker. He is an active member of Taj TMC. Toastmaster Shakir loves his job and enjoys what he's doing. He may be of young age, but comes packed with experience as a result of being passionate about his profession. May we welcome our last panelist, Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir. To achieve what 1% of the world's population has in terms of financial freedom, you must be willing to do what only 1% dares to do. Hard work and perseverance of highest order. We now move on to round one of questions to share with our panelists to elicit their responses so that we may be enriched. The first question, may I direct it to DTM Dr. Sundar. What is the biggest and broadest impact and value of health on financial freedom? What is the biggest and broadest impact and value of health on financial freedom?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, for that lovely question. So what is health in terms of financial freedom? How does health matter for financial freedom? Well, if you look at it, I'm reminded of the great quotation by George Bernard Shaw. Why do we not play? Is it because we get old, or are we getting old because we do not play? So this is actually something that we all need to look in terms of health and what activity that we do. So for me, financial freedom is something that we should start planning even earlier. It's not just to coincide with retirement. Because if you are able to have the prime of your health, will you always have the liberty to do whatever activity that you want, things that you enjoy, and at the same time have financial freedom. See, we all are in the typical mindset that we need to retire early to achieve financial freedom. Why do you want to think like that? Probably think about evolving into a different profession that suits you, makes you happy. For example, someone who is a good writer, okay, probably I'm a healthcare professional, but probably I'm good at writing or speaking. Probably at 40 or 50, I should stop retiring, or I should retire from my healthcare practice and probably become an educational trainer, something that I like. And that will still keep earning me. But to do that one, health is the most important thing. And this is why we all need to invest in healthcare. So in terms of healthcare, I'm not advising you to invest in financial ways that protect your health. Rather, invest in things that keep your health in a good shape. And what do you talk about health? It's a holistic health that we always need to focus on. A healthy mind and a healthy body. Without a healthy mind, no use of having a healthy body. And without a healthy body, there is no point having a healthy mind. You can claim that I eat all the junk food that I want, but I do meditation and yoga. Then what is the point? You are not taking care of your physical body. And at the same time, you can claim that I'm the most perfect person who works out almost every day in the gym, takes an hour's walk, do all kinds of yoga, meditation and everything. But at the end of the day, if you are taking up all kinds of stress in your workplace or in personal life or with family or friends, then it makes no sense at all. Because all the research in the world has proven that a combination of a healthy mind and a body is very important. And most of the lifestyle diseases that we are all talking about currently, diabetes, hypertension, blood pressure, and all the cardiac illnesses, stroke, and all kinds of illnesses are related in a way to having a stressful mind. So when you are talking about investing in healthcare, of course, you need to have some kind of money for your emergency. I bet the financial expert would be a better person to tell about that, having your insurance or healthcare insurance. But as a healthcare expert, my suggestion to is start early. And if you're talking about when is early, it is as early as possible. So if you are starting right now, start for yourself and teach your children, the next generation, to start today. So this is when you have to start investing in your health, because health is the prime wealth that you can invest on. And once you have invested and you have reaped the benefits of this one, then financial freedom is just any point in your timeline. Okay, so because you are at free will to do anything that you want. With good health, you can do any kind of activity that gives you money. So then why worry about financial freedom at one particular point in time? So my dear friends, health is probably the most important thing that we need to consider and focus on in terms of your financial freedom. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you so much for sharing your views, DTM Dr. Sundar. May I request Dr. Nachulam, please, to advise regarding the timing practice?
You're muted.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Hello, Toastmasters, and welcome to guests. Pleasant good evening. Today, my role as a timer to keep the time for all the speakers to ensure that every speaker within the time limit allotted. This time will be help ensure the meeting on time. To help this, I have the 3 digital color code for green, amber, and red. Today, the panel discussion speakers, the time allotted 2 to 3 minutes. I will show the green card at 2 minutes and amber card at 2 minutes 30 seconds and red card 3 minutes. All the speakers has a grace period 30 seconds or either side of the specific time limit. All the very best to everyone. Back to moderator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dr. Nachulam. May I now invite our next panelist, our expert on education. The question to Toastmaster Sunitha is, what key educational challenges can setting and achieving educational goals actually help us retire early? Can setting and achieving educational goals actually help us retire early?
Thank you, moderator, for that interesting question. Setting and achieving educational goals can help somebody to plan early. To retire early, it also needs financial stability, which means you are having enough money or you have invested already enough for the rest of your life without being employed or being dependent on somebody. For this, educational goals, setting them, planning them, definitely needs a lot. But everyone has their own values or gifts. And to bring these gifts, you will have to continue learning, and new skills achieving getting new opportunities and new skills is also important for this. It's not because somebody is tired of the current job that they would need to retire. It may also be because of redundancy. It may be due to ill health. So the main focus should be on making retirement purposeful, where education goals, setting them and achieving them early would direct you to setting and planning and making your retirement purposeful, rather than just spending time doing the things that you like without a structure. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunita, for your views on that aspect. May I now call on our third panelist, Toastmaster Sunny. The question is for you. What are two most important things affecting financial freedom you wish to share with your audience? What are the two most important things affecting financial freedom you wish to share with our audience?
Thank you, moderator, for that very nice question. Finance is lifeblood of all our activities nowadays. Even for oxygen and water, the basic thing for our life, nowadays we need to pay for that one. And if we are not careful, we will lose money even when we were asleep. The basic thing I would like to share is, in simple terms, our finance is like a bucket with the two pipes connected to that one. One is incoming, the other one is outgoing. To have some balance, the outgoing should be little lesser than the incoming. Once we understand that one, what is our incoming, and adjust the outgoing accordingly. Many people, they will be having a bigger outgoing and small incoming. To match it, we will fill from the top, maybe borrowing from banks, borrowing from friends, then doing some other things, and finally we lose our balance. Always look at your incoming before you spend. And second thing is, many people, they buy things assuming that it is an asset, but they are not able to understand that it is a liability. For example, I have enough money to buy a house, say 1 crore, but I want to buy something costing 3 crores. I go and borrow and I buy an asset, which is my building. But at the end, it turned out to be a responsibility. Every month, I have to pay EMI, and I will be dancing, and that dancing may hit somebody. So just conclude, incoming and outgoing. Look at both direction and always make sure that your outgoing is little lesser than your incoming. Always try to increase the size of incoming so that you will be having the flexibility to increase the size of the outgoing equally. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunny, for that insightful comments that you shared with us. you put such an important point in such simple words. Just make your incoming bigger than your outgoing. May I now request our next panelist, Toastmaster Philip, to approach the question, why is the topic of financial freedom important right now? Why is the topic of financial freedom important right now?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, moderator. Actually, an unknown author once said, retirement is wonderful if you have two essentials. That is if you have much to live on and you have much to live for. Well, as we all know, the financial independence is very much important right now, because previously we had a job security and all those things. But as you know, for the past 2 years, COVID has happened, and everyone's job security and financial security went for a toss. Many people lost their jobs. Many people who are in business, or many people who had high paying earning job lost their jobs and was not quick enough to find a new a replacement job in time. And in that 2 years, whatever they had saved had to be utilized to to make up, or had to be utilized for their life's day-to-day expenses. So financial independence is very much important, because in times like this, you need to have something to fall back on. Like some unexpected scenarios come in life, especially we were not expecting such a scenario of COVID in our lifetime. This something that we thought would end in 6 months, as now is 2 months. 2 years have passed and still continuing. So we all know of many people who have had financial crunches and financial because of financial insecurities, because of losing their jobs, and because they did not have enough saved in time. So basically, financial independence is something that we need to keep in mind, more important, because on how we can save quite enough for the future, as well as in times of difficulties like this, to utilize the funds without depending on others or on a third party. So basically, financial independence, there are lots of ways. You have fixed deposits. You can save a part of your income on fixed deposits, etc., or real estate, or if you're a business entrepreneur, you can make much more money quickly, provided that the market environments are favorable. So at this point of time, moderator, as you posed the question, yes, financial independence is something that needs to be looked on seriously, because we don't know what the future holds in store for us. And even though I said that I would like to retire at the age of 50, but if things go on like this, and I have to utilize much of my savings to do my day-to-day needs, then of course, naturally, I will have to extend my thinking of retiring at 50 and maybe extend to 60 years. Thank you, moderator. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Philip, for your valuable insights. May I now call upon Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir to address the next question. How does financial freedom aid or help in professional life? How does financial freedom aid or help in a professional's life?
Thank you, moderator, for that question. Financial freedom, in the point of view of a professional, a working professional, if you ask a 30-year-old working professional, what is the financial freedom for you? Or when you're planning to retire, he might say 50. But when you ask A 50-year-old working professional, when you are planning to retire, he may say 70. So it's not about the number or the age. It's about your security. You should have a proper recurring income. It doesn't mean I have a 50,000 real in my bank account and financially secure. No. There should have some supporting income together with my earnings. Then we can say it's a financial. So it's all about understand what we are saving for. We should have a clear set of goals. Like building a strong financial situation sometimes require sacrifices in our life. Yet it's very hard to choose to make sacrifices when you don't know what you are building towards. Many people struggle to save because they can define their saving goals. So recently I attended a 7 habit or highly effective people course. In that course, even Stephen Covey, he's mentioning, always begin with an end in mind. It's far easier to reach your end goal when you can clearly define it. So start by writing down your saving goals, and it should be very clear in your mind what will be the end. So in professional way, when we talk about financial safety, we have a set of goals in our mind and we are going through that goals. It should support to our professional life. Like if we need to upgrade in our professional life, these financial goals, it will help us. Because if I want to get more income, more earning in my, more promotions in my professional life, I should have a clear set of financial goals where I need to reach at the end. So I will start working on that. I will maybe done any new courses. I might do an MBA together with my current professional life to stronger myself as a working professional. So I hope I answer your question. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir, for your wonderful insights. Clear set of financial goals to achieve professional growth. That's something that we all can all work towards to achieve success in setting today's ideas in motion. With that, we come to the end of the first round. May I ask our timer, Dr. Nachulam, for your comments, please.
Good evening, moderator. Dr. Sundar used the time 3 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Sunita 1 minute 47 seconds. Toastmaster Sunny Kurulla 3 minutes 14 seconds. Toastmaster PK Philip 3 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir 3 minutes 17 seconds. Back to moderator.
Thank you, this was Dr. Nachulam, for your input. With that, we'll wrap up the first round of questions. And are you all set for the second round? Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Financial freedom is the power to produce wealth and not necessarily having wealth. Fellow panelists and guests in the audience, may I invite you to the second round of interesting questions to gain insights from our panelists. The first question to Toastmaster Sunny. From your long years of experience in the financial field, can you share an example where you had to make corrections in your plan to financial freedom and retiring early? From your long years of experience in the financial field, can you share an example where you had to make corrections in your plan to financial freedom and retiring early? Over to Toastmaster Sunny.
Thank you, moderator, for that direct question. As far as retirement, it is not in my agenda. I am not going to retire of my own. And it is the Almighty who is going to say, stop, enough. Till that day, I will be working. And if you talk about job, then it is almost 10 years before that I planned I need to stop working. And practically, I have done that thing. Nowadays, I don't have active involvement in my work. Every day morning, I go to office thinking that this is the last day. I'm bold enough to say what I feel. If you want to keep me, keep me. Otherwise, I'm gone. If you see, I don't connect retirement as well as financial freedom. If that is the case, Mukesh Ambani should not be doing anything nowadays. He is having money for next 10 generation, but probably he is not sleeping for 8 hours. Why it is like this? Because he enjoys what he is doing. He enjoys the size of the profit he is making, even though he is not eating everything. The moment he sees the graph, yes, done deal. And we need to enjoy that thing. Retirement is not at all required. We need to work for basic requirement to a certain age. Then stop that thing, continue to do till the last breath what you like to do. Chase your passion, and passion will chase everything else for you. That is my motto. And before or when I started my job, I was with the philosophy of Warren Buffett's. Even though I never heard about him, I started saving before I spent. When I came to Saudi Arabia, I came to know that, or I was with this feeling, I am not here to enjoy. I came with a purpose, and at least this much should go to my saving. After a few years, when I visited my hometown, Cochin, I saw a building for sale, and I told myself, if I am able to buy this one, yes, my life is fulfilled. Somehow, by the grace of God, I could buy that one. After a few years, I could buy at least another 2 like that. Please don't stop. Whatever you do with a passion, and that is your enjoyment. The enjoyment is not at the end of our destiny or journey. It is in the both sides. With a smile, proceed and don't retire. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunny. Thanks for sharing your inputs. Retiring is not on your agenda. A very, very bold statement. Being bold to speak your mind at your workplace, it's a challenge, and we hope we can all work ourselves to it. Your example of Mukesh Ambani, enjoy what you're doing. Retirement is not required. A very strong point. Continue to work your passion to the last breath. Thank you for those insights. Now I'm calling our next speaker, Toastmaster Philip. Toastmaster Philip, this question is for you. In your experience, what are the conventional routes to financial independence that are found to be working? In your experience, what are the conventional routes to financial independence that are found to be working? Toastmaster Philip.
Thank you, moderator. In my experience, I have invested in fixed deposits. I earmark a portion of my income to fixed deposits, and that's found, even though the interest percentage varies, but that's found to be at least a more it works most of the time, because it's there still safe in the bank, and you're earning quite an amount as interest on it, even though the interest percentage varies, but still, nevertheless, you get something for it. I have also invested in real estate, a bit of real estate, but if I suppose if I have purchased a flat, but if I want to sell it quite quickly or whenever I need, I won't get the desired output, or that amount that I require. It might be the market, due to market conditions, it might be low, and people might not be, other buyers might not be interested in spending that much of money to buy the real estate investments. And in case, even if I plan, I have not, but if I'm investing in mutual funds as well, that is also quite a risk. Suppose you can't say when the market conditions change. The stock market can be pretty tempting. It can be on the rise, and one fine day it corrects itself, and then I might find ending losing my money in the process. So it is very tempting to invest in a high profile, in a high, high returns, high risk, high returns this thing. But only I'll be prepared to do that only if I have a good financial advisor or something to guide me into it. So as for me, investing in the bank currently, what I feel is working is earmarking a portion of my income to fix a deposit or a recurring deposit with the savings, or with the postal, or with the bank. That is what I find safe at the moment. The others, of course, when the market conditions are good, I will go for stock investment and even property investment as well. That's my opinion. Back to you, Juan.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Philip. Fixed deposits, a conventional financial safety instrument. A lovely point. While investing in real estate, you can't liquidate quickly in case of an emergency cash need. Point taken. Stock investments, we have the risk of going up and down based on market conditions. With that, we move to our next panelist, Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir. And the question for you, what's the most significant professional setback? What's the most significant professional setback you faced on the road to financial freedom and retiring early? And how did you overcome it? What's the most significant professional setback you faced on the road to financial freedom and retiring early? And how did you overcome it?
Thank you, moderator, for that question. I would like to connect this question with one of my personal story, where I was working in the Sultanate of Oman for 7 years, and when I lost my job, when I look back about my financial statement, I was in a zero position. By the way, my father, he's a role model for me. I consider he's a role model for me. He worked in the government sector in insurance. He retired as a development manager, and he retired in his 55th year. He's supposed to retire on 60, but he took a voluntary retirement 5 years before. And he's enjoying his life, his retirement life early with a good monthly income. So I just set him as a role model. When I struggled during my financial situation, when I lost the job and when I was in home jobless, that time I just look at him. He retired early, but he well planned during his professional life before retirement. He is all set for retire, and he's retired early. So from that moment, I start making a smart plan for myself. So the smart plan containing a specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and a time-based. Where we say specific, that means it's not targeted very narrow, it's a named object. So not just a car. If I want to buy a car, I will target for a new model. So it should be specific. When it comes to measurable, measuring the right thing is everything. To achieve financial freedom, it's not enough to save money generally. You should track your progress and hold yourself accountable along the way. Then attainable. Smart goals are realistic. If your goal is to become the richest person on earth, maybe that will be a bad goal. Maybe you will fail. So it should be attainable and it should be relevant. Make sure we can draw connection between our smart goals and overachieving objects, and it should be timely. Set ourselves a specific time frame for achieving our goals. So this is the way that I overcome that situation by setting a smart goal. I hope I answered your question. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir, for your insights. Job loss is when we wake up to the reality of financial freedom. You pointed out very rightly. In the earlier generation, working long hours, continuing with the same organization was practice. Your personal experience from your father, where we can retire early if we plan ahead, and by making smart plans, S-M-A-R-T. Our next speaker, or the next question to our panelist is DTM Dr. Sundar, our health expert. What are some healthy practices we can follow while striving towards an early retirement? What are some healthy practices we can follow while striving toward an early retirement?
Thank you once again, Mr. Moderator. Okay, it's been quite interesting hearing about all those smart goals, fixed deposits, trying to do whatever that makes you happy. But without having a set of healthy goals, how are we able to plan an early retirement? So some things, there is a very popular saying. A wise man once said, the greatest things are the simplest. When you talk about healthy, it is not about having a crash diet, having the perfect body, having the perfect shape, going to the gym, having probably a six-pack abdomen to flaunt for men, and also having the perfect shape and the body for women. And this is not what we should aim at. There is a very famous video that has been circulated on YouTube by one of the famous cardiologists from India, from Bangalore, Dr. Devi Shetty. What he says is the ultimate aim of anybody to stay healthy is to have an overall healthy life, a healthy lifestyle. So healthy lifestyle, what all does it comprise? First of all, eat healthy foods. Don't go in search of all those exotic foods, start calculating your calorie and things like that. In the olden days, remember what people did. They ate when they felt hungry. Okay. And we were not bound by the 3 meals that we had in a day. They ate when they were hungry and they worked for as much as they ate. So this is what we need to try to equate and try to find a balance in today's world as well. So if you are not feeling hungry, don't overeat yourself. And if you have overeaten, then probably you should work as much physically, either in terms of your profession or do it as an exercise. So this is what a healthy eating and a healthy physical activity cycle should go on. The second thing is, for all of us human beings, we need rest. And, as children, we need to teach children to sleep at least 10 hours in a day, especially the growing children. When there is a period of brain development, which usually happens between 6 to 8 hours in a day, children have to sleep. They need to have adequate rest. And this is the rest that kindles the brain to rejuvenate. And also the brain, especially in children, it starts developing a lot of new neural connections. And as age progresses, it is this rest that keeps the brain cells healthy. So always have rest as a part of your healthcare life cycle. If you want to take good care of yourself, it's not just enough that you eat well and exercise well, but you also have to rest well. The olden days, they used to say, like, split your day into 3 parts, 8, 8, and 8. 8 hours, you keep it for your profession. 8 hours, you keep it for your personal activities, whatever may be, sport, reading, exercise, spending time with family, friends, and everything. And the remaining 8 hours is for your rest. A healthy body forms only when you have a healthy rest. And last but not the least, the third important thing that I would say, in spite of all the money and everything that you may have, if you don't have a stress-free mind, because this is one thing that we are facing as a major challenge in today's world. Be it children, okay, be it adults, be it adolescents, be it old age people, everyone has difficulty coping. You have to develop your own way of coping with stress. And if you are not able to cope up and find stress, never hesitate to take assistance. So healthy eating and healthy physical activity, good rest, and a stress-free mind. These are my 3 pointers towards early retirement and financial freedom. Over to you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you so much, Dr. DTM, Dr. Sundar. As usual, your points are very insightful and actionable. The greatest things are the simplest. Balance healthy eating and work to expend the energy. The rest kindles the brain and promotes a healthy brain. Beating stress, coping with the pressures of life, and take assistance if needed. May I now invite our next speaker, Toastmaster Sunita, with the question, how does education impact on retirement and quality of life in older age? How does education impact on retirement and quality of life in an old age?
Recently, researchers from University of Birmingham had a study where they found that retirees who were from different professions and educational backgrounds were found to experience retirement in a vastly different manner. Their education was something that impacted their retirement, as we all know. So it was found that professionals were more likely to continue working, sometimes in a part-time manner, and people who had disjointed careers continue to work throughout, sometimes as self-employment, and retirement was never an option for them. As for me, I would like to consider mini retirements, or rather use a different terminology, For educational purposes, I would personally prefer to take a sabbatical or mini retirements where I update on the educational front or the skills that I require to continue, which has got multifaceted effects in the sense I can rejuvenate myself along with continuous professional development, which is required for continuing. At the same time, this is not an option for everyone. Sometimes people just wait for their retirement to focus on an area which they had were passionate about and had kept pending. I still remember a colleague of mine once telling me that after her son graduated in flying colors, he came back and said, I graduated in something that you were interested in, and now let me do something that I am passionate about. So in Asian cultures, especially in Indian culture, we have a scenario where parents and community influence one's education and profession in a very large scale. So sometimes retirement is a time when people would look forward to focus on things that they were keen about. I have seen people coming from banking scenario who, this is a good neighbor of mine who is now in his 70s and he's focusing on being a lawyer. So education may influence your retirement, but it is not an option for everyone. And sometimes it has to be customized with certain scenarios and the history of how life and the background that you are in affects you. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Sunita, for your valuable insights. You've addressed an interesting topic, mini retirement. It's challenging, but a very interesting topic. How to rejuvenate through continuous professional achievement of your educational goals and hence reach retirement. And also, you pointed out rightly the influence of community on one's route to education. With that, we come to the end of the second round of questions. May I request the inputs from our timer, Toastmaster Dr. Arunachal.
Once again, good evening, moderator and floor Toastmasters. The second round timer report is Dr. TTM Sundar used 3 minutes 27 seconds. Toastmaster Sunita 3 minutes 13 seconds. Toastmaster Sunny Kurula 3 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster PK Philip 2 minutes 39 seconds. Toastmaster Muhammad Shakir 3 minutes 17 seconds. Back to moderator.
Thank you very much, timer Dr. Arunachalam. And we're moving on quickly to the third round. Financial freedom is the freedom from fear, and financial independence is about having more choices. Working because you want to and not because you have to is financial freedom. Wealth is the ability to fully experience life. I invite you all into round 3 of questions. May I ask the first question to Toastmaster Mohammed Shakir? What is the most interesting trend in retiring early and enjoying life among the professional community? What is the most interesting trend in retiring early and enjoying life among the professional community?
Thank you, moderator, for that question. The reality is the latest trend, nobody wants to retire because everybody enjoying their work, their professional life. I personally knows a lot of people when they are working, they love to play badminton in their work life in early morning. But when they got retired, they are saying, oh, it's boring now. So retirement might sound wonderful, but all too often the reality is disappointing. I will tell you some retirement, some polls about the retirement. About 28% of recent retirees polled by National Wide Retirement Institute last fall said that life was worse in retirement than it was when they were working. It's won several surveys to find that for roughly a quarter of retirees, they said life after work involves isolation and loss of direction. But I personally not believe on that. I really want to enjoy my retirement life. So for that, the trend it's going on, like make a budget, a good budget for your retirement, pay off your credit cards in full, nothing on pending, create automatic savings, like you will get a small, even if it is a small, there will be a earnings, recurring savings, and frequently then start investing now because you are in a good position, you are in a working level now, you're a working professional, you can start investing now, you can learn more about investments, then watch your credit, what is the balance sheet in your account, then try to negotiate. I know some of my friends there, they feel like negotiation it's like a bad thing. No, not at all. You should be a good negotiator. You can negotiate whenever you go to buy some products, you can negotiate. It's a good thing. Then continue education. Even if you are in retirement, you can still learn new things. We have a lot of examples here for that. Then get a financial advisor if you wish. A lot of people using that, they are taking advice from professionals about the financial status and their retirement plans, and invest, make a good investment. That's so. I hope I answer your question. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you for your insights, Toastmaster Shakir. You pointed out rightly, there's many a case where when we are in regular work, you go to active lifestyle, for example, wake up early in the morning, go play badminton. But once you retire, your mindset changes and you find that might be boring. So that's something that we need to address or take care of during the process. Other important insights like clearing out your credit card dues before you retire and making sure that you have small investments starting right now. These would really get us kick-started. Our next question is, for DTM Dr. Sundar. What if the key, direction, or route to make substantial difference in the path to a healthy retired life? What is the key, direction, or route to make a substantial difference in the path to healthy retired life?
Thank you very much once again, Mr. Moderator. Very often these days, I encounter patients. As you all know, I'm a dental professional. Okay, So very often we encounter patients who are probably in their early 50s or late 40s. They come with a lot of dental problems and several of them lose their teeth. This is just one facet of health that I am talking about. On the other hand, I have a few of my relatives who are well beyond the age of 70 and who have a still functioning set of teeth. So what's the difference? So how does it make it different? Because they are having their own set of teeth, enjoying their retired life, and these people are at 40 and 50 looking at how am I going to take care of my teeth for the next 20 years. And this is just, as I told you again, it's just one facet of healthcare. So every part of healthcare, every body system, these kind of paradigm shifts have come with the previous generation and the current generation. So, well, what has been the major change? Well, they had a healthy lifestyle. They were lucky enough. They had a clean and green planet when they were still young. But unfortunately, the current generation, and I'm really afraid if I'm going to talk about the future generations, what are we going to leave behind for the people? So the only way is like we choose to live a healthy lifestyle. You can always make choices. Life is all about making choices. If you feel that, no, I'm going to eat all the junk food that I can, I just want to enjoy, I just want to binge on things that that gives me pleasure about, then probably you should not be wondering about talking about retirement because you have enjoyed right now. You're not talking about the enjoyment later on in your life. But if you are able to sacrifice for those subtle things in the current lifestyle, okay, you are able to choose a healthy lifestyle as early as possible. This is what I told you at the very beginning. How early it is, probably today is that early for several of us here. Probably some of you have started already. And for your children, tell them that this is the time. So inculcate in them that start thinking about a healthy lifestyle. All those healthy practices that we talk about, be it diet, rest, living stress-free, doing exercise, a regular form of exercise that gives you a physical fitness and things like that. All of those things have to start off early. And if you are able to start off early, probably someone who starts it off at the age of 10 to 15 years of age, that's the time when it is easy to mold people to do whatever they want. And when they are able to take it on throughout their life, 40 or 50, they are still healthy with whatever that they are doing. And no matter what, if they wish to retire at that point in time, they can still live a happy, healthy life. What is the point if you are going to retire with loads and loads of money at 60 or even at 50, but you don't have the health to enjoy what you want? You cannot make a trek. You cannot do cycling. You cannot go swimming in the sea. What is the point? So only thing that I would like to say is like, we all know there are lots of resources that are available how to live healthy. There is umpteen information available in front of you. But the most important thing is make the choice to start living healthy early. And that's what signals a happy and enjoyable retired life. And this is the one thing that I would like to reiterate once again. And back to you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you so much, DTM Dr. Sundar. Very, very convincing points there about those visiting the dentist, having unhealthy teeth, while others have working set of teeth even into their 70s. And your concerns about the current generation, rightly so, where they choose to enjoy life now instead of sacrificing a little to improving our health. And very, very important point on starting the best practice early in life. Our next question is for Toastmaster Sunny. What are the common misconceptions people have regarding financial freedom, and how can we combat them effectively? What are the common misconceptions people have regarding financial freedom, and how can we combat them effectively?
Thank you, moderator, for that question. To answer this thing, I would like to introduce one person whom I love the most. A young entrepreneur with a lot of dreams, a big mansion, luxury cars, ornaments, apparels, cash, and higher social status. While he was on a business trip, hardly he took 2 hours from that trip, and he was walking over the seashore. Instead of walking, he was running fast to complete this one in the limited time. While he is walking, he saw one person sitting in a very lazy mode and repairing his fishing net. In between, he is looking at sea. He expected a person working like this, this entrepreneur, but this man was very slow. He went to him and asked, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I am repairing my net." Then this man asked, "Why don't you work hard and make some money?" This man asked, "What for?" And here you need to enjoy your life. Then that lazy person asked him a question, "What are you doing?" Then he explained, "Yes, I'm doing like this. I am working hard." And he asked again and again. Then after that, he mentioned, "Yes, when I achieve all these things, I will buy a mansion in the seaside and I will enjoy the sea." Then that lazy man said, "My dear, that is what I am doing now." So the more big misconception is what we can see outside. But after we achieve all these things, if we cannot sit relaxed and smile on ourselves, we cannot get good sleep. What is all this hard work is for? It's a big difficulty. You are destroying, or I am destroying my life for nothing. So it is not what we see. Many people cannot remember the color of the shirt I am wearing today. And most of the people, they cannot see what watch you are wearing, which mobile you have. Forget about all these things. You focus inside yourself and generate happiness from yourself. And to say, don't look for others what they will see. You need to have a plan, because our life, normal life, may go up to 80 years. First 25 years studying, we cannot do anything. Next 5 years working. That means jumping from one place, other place, either because of firing or we are deciding ourselves to leave. And by 30, we will settle somewhere. And our effective life is maximum another 30 years. But during this 30 years, we need to save or make plan for up to 80 at least. That means at least 50% of our income we need to save every year for our bad days. You may get challenges. You need to say resist even with your family members. But think, we came to this world alone. We are responsible for our own life, and we need to go away from this thing. So plan yourself for over to you. Moderator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunny. You caught our attention with the explanation of the young entrepreneur meeting the person who was already enjoying his life, even through a lazy life. So, as you said, we won't focus on the watch we wear or the shirt we wear, and not just at what others can see. Rather, for something sustainable, we need to save at least in the first 30 years of our working life, even up to 50% of our income. May I now invite Toastmaster Philip, our panelist, for the next question. What are the most critical changes we need to make in order to achieve financial freedom and retire early? What are the most critical changes we need to make in order to achieve financial freedom and retire early?
Thank you, moderator. First of all, I would like to, quote one of our panelists, Toastmaster DTM, Dr. Sundar Ramalingam. First of all, we need to concentrate on our health. Like we said, without health, there's no use of earning wealth. We won't be able to enjoy it or enjoy the money that we make. Secondly, with regards to our present job, if we are living on a paycheck to paycheck basis, that is, we are earning our salary and we are spending that whole amount on that month itself, then we are in a problem. So that means it's either time to analyze and analyze if we can have a, if we can increase our income in our current position with this organization or in our current business, whatever. If not, then we'll have to explore new avenues where we can generate more income or more salary as per se. Then second, we need to find out alternate methods of passive income. Suppose, yes, we are earning a monthly salary, but in addition to that, if we have an investment, like in India, basically, if we have a resident shopping complex or something of that sort, we can, give it for on rent, and that would be a passive income that we can use for our future, requirements or to pursue our hobbies or during our retirement, etc. Then basically, we need to analyze what our goals are. We need to understand what is our priority at this age. What all do I need to clear? If I have any debts, do I have to, I need to clear all that. If I have my kids regarding their marriage expenses, etc., all these I need to take it consideration and save for that. And all that needs to be analyzed, and that needs all everything corresponding to that needs to be saved for. And in addition to that, we also need to invest in ourselves as well. That means like we can invest in a pension plan or something like that. At least once, if when we retire, we have an alternate source of income, source of pension form. Then in addition, then the next what I would consider is we need to analyze our essentials, like what all currently, see, are we, if we need to have a better savings, we need to actually cut short on some of our lifestyle right now. Like suppose maybe if we limit our luxuries now, then we can save more, and then that will be beneficial to us at the time of retirement. Anyway, these are the points that I have analyzed, and I hope it answers your question, moderator. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Philip. Without health, we cannot enjoy wealth. You're absolutely right. Spending all our income or salary in the same month is counterproductive. Absolutely. And look, we have to look for avenues to generate alternate income, even passive income. And investing in ourselves and having a better saving by cutting back on lifestyle level now to enjoy later. The last question for round 3 is to Toastmaster Sunita. What is the biggest challenge you would face during retirement? What is the biggest challenge you would face during retirement?
Thank you, moderator. Lacking a structure is something that I would definitely be worried about. I always prefer to have a systematic lifestyle, and when retirement sets in, when you're on your own, it is difficult to follow a steadfast structure in your daily life. Along with that, the social isolation, as Toastmaster Shakir had mentioned earlier, or missing the people of your same wavelength and having discourses with them which normally happens when you go to work. Retirement normally would set in the feeling of being sidelined or being considered redundant. And as always, or mostly, retirement is stereotyped as being somebody who is inefficient to work anymore in the mainstream. So these do cast in a lot of insecure feelings for retirees. This is what I've seen among friends and family. I believe just as career guidance and counseling is important to our children as they choose their career path, it is absolutely important that retirement guidance and counseling is available to all retirees. Like Dr. Sundar had mentioned earlier, overall health is of utmost importance, or else it is easy for retirees to slip into insecure feelings and into depression. And this is something that I have very often seen in retirees who had always looked forward to retiring. This is caused because of the so-called social isolation. And as somebody who is looking forward to retirement to learn something new, this is I'm personally already planning on what all I'll be learning. I probably would go on a course on horticulture, and I'm an amateur artist, so I would go on courses on painting, sketching, and all of that, which I've already started planning on. But again, in spite of all this, when you do not fall in part of a system, it is easy for you to feel that lack of structure, and that may cause certain insecure feelings. Over to you, moderator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunita. A lack of structure can cause a lot of issues during retirement, and we need to plan well and plan ahead for that. Back now to Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam for your views on round 3.
Once again, good evening, moderator and fellow Toastmasters. The third round timer report, Dr. TTM Sundar, 3 minutes 14 seconds. Toastmaster Sunita, 3 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Sunny Kurula, 3 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster PK Philip, 3 minutes 18 seconds. Toastmaster Muhammad Shagir, 3 minutes 20 seconds. Back to moderator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dr. Arunachalam, for your comments and report. We now open up the panel, open up to the guests and the audience to share your questions for answers from the panelists, please. If you have any questions, kindly share now.
Yeah, I have one question, if you are allowed.
Yes, of course.
Okay, I have a question for one of the panelists, Toastmaster Shakir. Now, I wish to retire the next 2 years. What is the immediate steps I should take up? Because 2 years is pretty short time, I know, but still, there are any fast track that could help me do that?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. From my opinion, I would say it's all about the plans. We cannot make the plan immediately, but as you said, there is at least 2 years. We can make a proper planning from now. First things first, that I could say. You need to get organized and do a comprehensive overview of your finance. You should check your balance, open an investment account if you didn't open yet, and contribute on a regular basis. You should give a contribution on regular basis. That's every month you should keep an amount to that account. Then live a balanced life. As you said that you are going to retire after 2 years, you should check your income, then spend accordingly. So open a good account and contribute it regularly, and have a close monitor on your expenses. It can be a good plan. I think I answered your question. That's Mr. Jijo's question.
Thank you for the valuable point, Smashik.
May I invite for more questions, please, to the panelists from the audience?
DTM Shekhar raised his hand here.
First of all, good evening to everyone present here. My question is, I just saw this one. As we are working in Saudi Arabia, we don't have second option to do part-time or another business. If we do that one, they will catch us and they will send back home. So what other thing means other than Toastmaster? I don't feel that we can do more than that. So that's what I believe. Toastmaster Muhammad Shakir, he gave the better option that we have to monthly means something we have to do. As far as my own views are there, I just planned accordingly. Means like I just take loan from the British bank and then I saved it in India, and that was. So what else means like still we have problem. Like if we have enough money. In India, you know that you have enough money is also dangerous. So what else, what major things we can do? Means no need to save more, just a smooth income. I heard that post office deposit is one sort of best option. But what else we can do more, if anyone can answer? Because he's not there now. Like I said, he gave option that work another part-time job or something like. So anyone can answer that. Yeah. Yes, sir, please.
First of all, I would like to say that the word retirement is somewhere negative. And we need to use a word reaching financial freedom. Reaching financial freedom to go further. And for that, there are so many ways. If it is post office deposit, or any other deposit, what will have is there is a problem with inflation. Because our rate of inflation is more than 7%, and what the return we will get from bank nowadays is around 5%. What 100 rupees can buy this year, we need to pay maybe 120 rupees next year. So what is the point of getting 105 after 1 year? So whatever money you have, invest maybe in shares if it is a small amount. If it is considerable amount, go for some saving. Save means income generating asset, like maybe a small shop where you can rent it and regular income will come. So everything is based on how much you have, but always plan early. There is not even a single individual who never made a mistake. We need to make mistakes when there is a span to correct that thing. If we make a mistake when we are 50, 55, 60, that is, and we will end up and die in that mistake. But if we make a mistake when we are 25, 30, 35, we have another, say, 40 years to correct that thing and take some good decision later on. We always learn from our own mistake. That is called experience. So if you have 100 rupees, save someplace. If you have 100,000, save in different place. If we have 1 crore, save in another place. There cannot be any definition or idea without understanding how much money you have and what is your risk appetite. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shekhar, for your lovely question. And Toastmaster Sunny, very, very smoothly and simply you explained the point to us. May I now invite one more question, if there is time, please?
Yes, Toastmaster Ibrahim has raised hand.
Yes, please.
Don't you think that we worry a lot about our retirement? And when we reach retirement, essentially, then most of the people who I have talked with, they sense that they missed out living. The money what they saved, essentially, they are unable to get the value out from that money, which they saved all life. So when you're fit, when you're young, you have some money, you need to strike a balance. Balance is the key. But like for me, someone suggested 15% of a salary if you put in bonds. That's the best solution. If the objective is to be happy, then it's more mental thing. And as we may have experienced many of the speeches, what we get to hear down here with many of the Toastmasters is how do you feel essentially? So if we program ourselves to adapt, whatever the circumstances are, so I can survive with 1,000 rupees and I can survive with 1 million rupees. If you try to compare those two lifestyles, happiness is the key. And for being happy, you need to have your friends around with whom you can have meaningful conversations, engaging conversations. So even if you have enough friends around with 1,000 rupees, just bare minimal, which can take care of your ends, you don't need to have a big car or anything. You still would have a happy retired life. That's my perception. So what I want to ask here is any of you, the best practices, especially taking Indian, because most of us are Indian, from the Indian investment standpoint, which is like a passive income, what bonds would you suggest where anyone can invest and think less about it, which would give you better than the bank results or any other returns you can find? So there are always some bonds they do better than others. So which are those bonds that you guys can recommend to all of us to save in those bonds and forget about that? Anyone who is a financial specialist?
Yes, we have one financial specialist.
I will try to answer. I am not an expert in investment, but I will try to answer that thing. What is difference between a bank deposit and bond? Hardly there is no difference. Bonds are issued by industrial houses or by government. And banks, they take our money and they give to needy people. The gap is maybe 2 to 3%. Have you ever heard any bond with a 20% return?
Yeah.
That is very risky. I never heard any reputable bond with more than 10% return. Bond is just like borrowing money on a document. And after 5 years, after 3 years, they will return their money with this much money, interest or profit margin, whatever it is. We need to understand banking. They take our money, depositors' money with say 5%. and they will retail. They are like a wholesalers, and retail they will give it for 9%, 8.5 or something like that. When it is available in the market with 8%, 9%, why the companies need to give to people 20%? They will not give unless and until it is, they will not get it from banks. So my suggestion is, rather than going for bank deposit of bonds, invest in some blue chip companies in their shares. There is two growth. There is something called organic growth, which normally happens. For example, India is in growth path. Even we remain, automatically it will be pushed because of this index. So bank deposit not really very good, bond not really very good, then go for maybe shares or do some investment. There are startup companies, there are people who has ideas, resources, but they are lacking money. You can participate with them with control in your hand. It's not like that you are giving money and sleeping. Give money to them, but watch and verify them every moment. They can give you return even up to 100%. If you invest 1 crore this year, maybe they will put their effort, their sweat, and return you with 2 crores in 1 or 2 years. But use your brain before taking any commitments. It is your money. You will get advice from so many people, but your money, you have to be careful.
A wonderful parting statement. Your money, you have to be careful. Absolutely, absolutely, Toastmasters. The speed of your success is limited only by your dedication and what you're willing to sacrifice. The secret to creating lasting financial change is to decide to pay yourself first and make it automatic. Never depend on a single income. Make an investment to create a second source. May I now declare the panel discussion closed and return to the presiding officer. Toastmaster Jija, would you like to step in for Aditi and Dr. Sundar, please?
Thank you, moderator Toastmaster Rajan Jose, for conducting such an exciting session. In fact, we had so many different aspects of the same subject, and listening to the educational aspects or health aspects, professional front, and how the conventional thinkers thinking about the subject. It was a great, brought out so many insights, and many ideas came forward. I'm a very weak person on this, thinking about retirement from quite a long time, and it's given me some ideas. It's pushing me forward. Okay, I can think of something of retirement in 2 years now. Thank you for that great session, and please give a big round of applause for Toastmaster Rajan Jose and all the panelists who did a wonderful job. Great, really enjoyed the sessions, and thank you, Toastmaster Shakir, Toastmaster Sunny Kuruvilla, Dr. Sundar, Toastmaster Sunita, Toastmaster P.K. Philip, and special thanks to our timer, Toastmaster Arunachalam, and our moderator, Toastmaster Rajan Jose, and all the attendees who graced the occasion and we came, and I hope you surely gained something from this event. Thank you all. Before we end up the session, let me take a quick word from our guest who has joined. First of all, our guest who joined since beginning, Toastmaster Saravanan, our guest. And yes, Toastmaster Saravanan, what did you gain or what did you feel attending this session?
Yes, sir. So today I learned a lot of, sir, because I financial freedom of after retirement, what I have to do, what I make pre-plan. So before I going to retirement, how could I make a pre-plan? So today I learned a lot of things. This section was I'm very learning, too much learning, sir. One more thing, how to make good health. How can I good health to make? How could be I am the healthy of the mind and healthy of the body? So after retirement, how can I could be enjoying the life? So how to organize of the before life, before retirement, I can learn for a lot of things today. So I'm very pleasure to this topic today I'm hearing. So I'm very enjoying this topic. I'm very enjoying today. So today I'm learning a lot of. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Saravanan. So this is what I feel. Becoming a Toastmaster, you get also the experience sharing of all the members. It's not only about speeches, but the experience from each profession is shared free of cost. So this is the greatest learning from Toastmasters that we get. Everywhere you don't get such sharing until they are paid. They don't share financial. Okay, they discussed about financial bonds. Nobody will discuss here without paying money. So that's the greatness about Toastmasters. Yes, DTM Shekhar, would you like to share your insights?
Thank you so much once again, dear all. Today, actually, I missed this the big, very beautiful part of this meeting because of some reason. But what I understand in the last moment is if you gain something, that is the best. We are learning by experience. So that's what my but basic point, what I understand from my life. Today, I'm just almost 1 year more to retire. Means as per age, my company is not retiring till 64, 65. So as according to general rules that at the age of 60, people retire. So my humble suggestion, all present, whatever things you do that, what I realize in my life, early marriage is the best solution for this one. Means till 60, if you are free from your all responsibilities, that is the best option, because people, I saw people after 60 also. I have to, my son is studying, my children are very small, this one, but me, I'm very comfortable. This, my daughter marries, my son marries, and my son is doing higher studies. So that's what part I just miss. What I feel that is by grace of God, I will enjoy my life. Means after retirement. So what I done today, miss, I learned from this meeting. You have to take care of your health. You have to take care of your thing, and money. Your money is your money. You have to take care of that. That's the beautiful word. Definitely, we are afraid that what I'm saying, more money is also dangerous in India. If you have more money, that is very dangerous. If you have less money, you can survive. That is the beautiful part as far as India is concerned. So that's what I learned, means so many things. So I missed the major part of this one. So if it is recording, then please share with us. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. It's on YouTube live, so you could go to our channel and you could check it anytime. All our meetings are recorded here. So through the year, it's recorded. So anytime. Yes, Toastmaster Ibrahim, you'd like to add something?
Well, wonderful thoughts, Toastmaster Shekhar. And if any of you believed in what Shekhar said, that too much money is dangerous in India, I'm more than happy to take that money from you guys. Feel free to give it to me. I have the guts to handle that money. Okay.
Okay. That we will all transfer it to your account. Please share it.
Yeah. If you feel you have too much money and you feel it's dangerous, give it to me. Come on. I can manage.
Okay. We can call one of our members, Praveen Peter, if he's listening. He did not give any feedback or any questions. Probably he's busy at work. Praveen Peter?
Yes, yes.
You've been patiently listening to the.
Yes. Yes, this today is the financial freedom about retired life. So this is a lot of new learnings to me today, which is totally changed my paradigm, which I need to plan from the beginning, from my early professional life. Before I thought that okay, let it be go like this. So when retirement will be okay, think about that time. So it is today that it stopped me that should be planned from the today itself to ending my retirement life. So this totally changed my paradigms. It is entirely I need to plan new things, new earnings, new deposits, a lot of things. So it's very good learning happened today. Thank you. Over back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Praveen Peter. We are glad at least one person has found some light towards retirement. I'm hopeful many others would have gained some interesting points, and everyone should work. At least I will work on the sleep part, because that's what I am lacking, and at least an hour more of sleep I will surely add in my routine. So with that, let us call it an end for the day. I would request everyone to stand up for the national anthem. Thank you all for joining. Aditya Turki is just joined. Aditya Turki, you might have missed the session. Anyway, it's recorded live. So you could visit YouTube. You can always check the recording. It was an interesting session. Sure, you'll get some interesting points. All right. Let me adjourn the meeting today.